Have you ever caught yourself thinking that the deeper your thoughts become, the faster people around you try to find an excuse to leave the conversation? That the more you understand the world, the less willing people are to listen, as if your intelligence triggers a sudden need for them to check their phones or talk about the weather. You're not imagining it. Society has been suspicious of thinkers for centuries. And no, it's not because deep thinkers are wrong. On the contrary, it's because they see what others would rather keep hidden under the rug. History is full of examples. Socrates, Galileo, Tesla, brilliant minds who terrified their contemporaries simply by daring to think beyond the surface. Schopenhauer, always one for a cheery view, insisted that intelligence is less of a gift and more of a curse, a kind of lifelong intellectual torture. The more you understand, the further you drift from the happy, noisy crowd. It's as if clarity of thought comes with a free side dish of loneliness. After all, when you point out that the emperor has no clothes, people don't usually thank you. They glare at you for spoiling their parade. Why is it that when someone is stronger, we admire them? When someone is richer, we might envy them, but don't feel threatened. But when someone is smarter, suddenly it feels like a personal insult. Psychologists have a fancy name for this: the mirror effect. A deep thinker doesn't just offer new ideas, they unintentionally hold up a mirror to those around them, reflecting back insecurities and limitations people would rather ignore. And that, let's face it, is not something most egos forgive easily. It's not even about arrogance. The thinker might be the humblest soul in the room, but just their mere presence feels like an intellectual audit nobody asked for. Intelligence hits where it hurts: our identity. We define ourselves by our thoughts, our beliefs, our precious opinions about the world. So when someone comes along who sees deeper, it's not just fascinating, it feels like an attack instead of admiration. What follows is often resistance, dismissal, or, at best, polite nodding till the subject can be changed to something safe, like sports or reality TV. That's why society has always pushed its thinkers to the sidelines. It's not because their ideas were flawed, but because their ideas were too true too soon. People will do just about anything to protect their fragile sense of self, including labeling the thinker as weird, difficult, or too intense. Ever tried bringing up a deep idea at a party? Watch how fast the room empties or how quickly the topic shifts to who's dating whom. Coincidence? Hardly. Empty but confident voices always seem to gain more applause than nuanced truth. Social media, ever the amplifier of human folly, favors catchy emotional fluff over thoughtful, complex insight. Yeep ideas, too slow, too complicated. A viral meme about cats, instant success. The algorithms reward simplicity, outrage, and humor, not intellectual depth. We say we value intelligence. But let's be honest, society values comfort, certainty, and the familiar more. Our schools claim to nurture critical thinkers, but they mostly reward those who memorize and obey. Our workplaces champion innovation, just as long as it doesn't threaten the status quo. Our leaders, they win by telling us what we want to hear, not what we need to think about. Intelligence, it's celebrated, but usually posthumously when it's no longer dangerous. Socrates, Galileo, Tesla, Turing, hypothetical geniuses whose lives were marked by rejection, ridicule, or worse. Society didn't hate their brilliance. It hated what their brilliance revealed, that we cling to comforting lies and resist uncomfortable truths. These thinkers weren't ahead of their time because they had better calendars. They simply saw what others refused to see and paid the price for it. But this isn't a hopeless tale. If you've ever felt alone in your thoughts, remember, it's not because you're broken. It's because you see a little further, a little clearer. And yes, that can be isolating. The world wasn't built for deep thinkers. It was built for stability, predictability, and group harmony. But that doesn't mean you have to silence yourself. Find your tribe, those few rare souls who appreciate depth, Learn to communicate profound ideas in simple words, not to dumb things down, but to build bridges where others only see gaps. In the end, society doesn't fear intelligence itself, it fears what intelligence reveals. So if you feel like an outsider, take heart. You're in excellent company. The future always belongs to those brave enough to think differently, even if the present makes them feel like they don't bellow. End.